Alright, hello. It's Sean. I'm back again for the next part of the unboxing video series. And in this case, it's a future build. It'll be somewhere in the 40s. Probably be after I'm done building the next model car. Of course, you're not going to see a hint of it here because she said she's going to check out the channel. Don't want to spoil the surprise. This will probably be build number 43. It is the Anson Mount 1000 Scale Enterprise from Star Trek Discovery and now Strange New Worlds. You can see the front of the box here. It's the only ship in the Discovery line, and it's from Polar Lights, that has been produced in 1000 scale so far. You can see how the model looks on the side there. And there's a almost leaving space dock view. And here it is with Discovery. And there it is in dry dock at the end of season 2, just before it warped off, which is almost a clone of how it looked at the beginning of Strange New Worlds. And you see the back. Oh, well, okay, here we go. There you go, see? I like that forward view there. And that's with the Aztecs and a dark hull. And there it is with more detail. Okay, so the next thing to do is to take a look at the ship itself. Take a look at the instructions. Once again, the color key is probably on the box itself. So, inner pages of assembly instructions. Part 1 is the nacelle assembly dome. Part 3 is the assembly itself, all the way up to part 4. Then you have the nacelle struts, so they front and back have, so you can see how well they're lodged in. You attach the nacelle to the strut, then you do the saucer assembly. You can see all the windows that go into I believe that's the bottom half of the saucer. And the windows that go into the inside of the secondary hull. Then you put the two halves together with the deflector dish. Put the struts and nacelles and everything on the main hull, and then you attach it to the stand. Now you see this doesn't have the posability of the other stand, but it's more stable that way. And haven't opened up any of the bags yet to get a good view of the parts, so I'll be back once I do that. And before I show you the parts, there are very minimal decals on the ship itself. Just the registries and pinstripes, as you can see here, facing side and opposite side. But what I will do is I will get out the Aztec decals I ordered from it. Both sets, both the original and the Decals ones. Alright, here we go. The Enterprise registry. I don't know what those are, but hopefully the instructions will tell us. The side of the box, the pinstripes and everything. So that's quite good. So we'll move on to the parts next. Alright, I'm back. I've got the this is a top saucer. You can see the color of the ship and all the grid lines, the phasers, the clear parts where the window will show through. Don't worry, I'll paint that white from the back side once again so that you don't get glue on it. And the bridge dome and its window, its side windows apparently. The impulse housing, the slight fins, and all the pegs that fit into the, if I'm right, peg holes. And you look. You see those part numbers? That's where all the clear parts go, on the inner part of the bottom saucer. It's perfect. Everything's labeled. Maybe that arrow indicates how you slide the neck in. There's the bottom. And the triangles for the landing legs of the saucer and everything. There's where the torpedo tubes come in. There's the phasers. Okay, so that is the saucer. I'm not going to try to fit it together. I'll just put it in the bag here. Then we'll move on to the other parts. You've got the normal stand and everything with its base. Not much to see there. And then you have the big bag, with all the part trees in it. Okay, I've got to get another bag for this. Give me 1 minute. All right, I'm back again. I had to find the appropriately sized bag that would take these parts. Let me just cut the bag here. There we go. All right, so it's on 2 trees. There we are. Ooh, loose piece. Here's a loose piece. Looks almost like a constructs engine, but I'm sure it's for the model itself. Maybe the warp engines or something. So you have the first sprue tree, okay, here, and oh, there we go, right side up for the so the nacelle ridge pieces, intercoolers, the 2 nacelle halves themselves. You can see where the pinstripe goes. Again, raised decal shows exactly where the arrowhead goes and everything, and where the clear grills will fit through. That's why I'm painting them on the back side so that they'll fit right in, so that the part that gets glued in, perhaps to these notches, doesn't get smeared. And then you have, well, they probably should have found a less awkward way to put this in piece. You can see where the other piece, number 24, came off. All right, so you have the 2 of them, probably just in case one breaks, because they both say 9. That's for the deflector dish. And its housing. Okay. And there is the hull. You see the notches where the nacelles will fit in nicely. You can see this also here because they have these struts. So these sections will fit right in there, and you can see where all the windows go. So you want to put all the windows in before you put the nacelles in place. And the struts themselves with those little windows on the sides and the grills, they all emulate the u.s.s Enterprise. So I'll put everything in these bags, and then we'll look at the clear parts. All right, I'm back, and I have the clear parts tree right here. Now there is one clear part that fell out, so it's going to have to be put into a small bag. All right, so I have the little bag in which the one clear piece can fit in. That might be the bridge dome, or it might be the sensor dome. Or it might even be a clear nacelle dome, because you can see from the clear parts tree where it was, so it's probably a nacelle dome. That's probably the bridge dome. That's the front bridge window. There, that's better. Hopefully the shadows don't obscure things. Okay, now there's the front bridge window. There is the sensor dome, nacelle domes, probably clear window inserts, engine housings, which are all clear again, grills for the nacelles, the windows for the neck and the secondary hull, and of course impulse engines and everything. All right, all labeled, and I'm going to have the part number colored on the parts. So that is all for the parts of the model. Now we'll move on to the Aztec decal sets, both of them. All right, I'm back again. I have the Aztec decals here and their instructions here. Now, of course, there's an online version with the revised section in pink. That's something I'll be referring to on the computer screen when I do it. But you can see the general idea here for the saucer, the side of the secondary hull. I think most of the corrections are for the inner and outer nacelle sections. So at least I'll show you everything here. Let's see. Top saucer ranges from 1 through 12. Yeah, here you go, see? 6, 23 for the deflector dish. So 1 through 12 is here. It can be, of course, cut up. And I'll probably do that so they don't fold over on themselves. This was produced in 2020. And there's some for the secondary hull, the bottom of the star drive with the stand hole already accounted for. So that's that section. Now, what I did, just as an experiment, is I tested on, I think it was the bottom hull, the pearlescent, the iridescent, see? The gold, the green, the pink, and the blue. Now, of course, I'll clean that up a bit. That's just to make some of it show up a bit better. You can see where the main hull color will be. You see how you have to make the main hull color lighter than this section so that you can actually see things. The sides of the neck, the fantail, the bottom of the hull, the nacelle struts, and the other halves of the saucer. And then this section is all for the nacelles themselves. So this is where all the adjustments will come in on the computer instructions. There's the back of the nacelles, maybe some of the front as well, along the top and the inner sides. They have to account for the grill work. And I don't know if you can tell. Oh, there you go. See that raised shiny edge? They're all raised so you know exactly where to cut them. Just like Polar Lights decals of recent years. So now I will show you the decals equivalent of the same sheets. And just taking a look here, they are the same numbers, but they're actually softer. So you can see everything for the saucer on this one. And a deflector dish and everything. So this is a more soft refit, a lot more complicated. You can see the Aztec man and everything. You can see the secondary hull. Again, the stand hole. See, top saucer front. You start there and you work your way around. They're not numbered, of course, but that's where you start. So you have to account for whichever one goes around the impulse engines. And then, of course, you have the neck. So you have to cut along here. You have the bottom saucer. You see how much lighter it is? See how much lighter it is? But it does label, you know. Port rear. Starboard rear. Port front. The neck. And the starboard front. And, of course, the nacelle struts and the bottom of the hull. And of course you have the rest of the nacelles. You see how subtle these are. So if you wanted to make your ship a TOS coloring, one moment. For instance, the Tamiya Royal Light Gray, you can see how even the lightest aspect of these decals would have trouble showing up even against that hull. It'd almost have to be white. but it would show up on the darker sections also. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it looks. But anyway, you have all the parts there. So, all right. So that's going to be the. Oop, one moment. There. So that's a good thumbnail picture of the kit and its Aztec decals. That's the end of this video for this week on Sean's Model Builds. This time it'll be posted on Thursday because I'm traveling Friday evening. And so we'll see you here next time. Bye-bye.